All right, next question. As an African American, when we reach a certain amount of success, are we obligated to come back to help the community? How y'all feel about that? Like once you reach a certain plateau, are we obligated to come back to help the community?
You're not obligated. It'd be nice to try to help people or find a way to kind of help people, show people your path to help them, succeed and get to another level or whatever. I don't think you're obligated though, because everybody was put there as they were put there. But it would be nice to kind of help people figure a way out of that shit, because that's not a good place to be in.
Absolutely yes, all the way yes. Because
Go ahead, Joe.
No, I was saying you didn't get to where you at by yourself. So you don't gotta do it on display for clout, but you should definitely be helping out people from the areas you came from.
Right.
In whatever way that works. It's not the same way for everybody, because everybody doesn't value success the same way. But whatever you can do, you definitely should be helping at least one person to get to another level above where they're at.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed. Definitely agree.
You're not obligated, but it would be
Drake,
nice.
I think you are obligated. They are obligated.
Are you obligated? You're supposed to do something for just because. All right, let's just say I made it out. I'm obligated to come back to help the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? It should be something that if I want to do it, I could do it, but I'm not obligated to do it.
Okay, so obligation is a responsibility you have for another person. When you have a kid,
you just said I'm obligated to come back.
Right, and this is what I'm saying to you. When you have a child, you're obligated to that child. You're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. You're still obligated for that child. Like, you are responsible for that person. So
we're talking about community though.
Your obligation doesn't change the fact that you still don't want to do it from your heart. That's what I'm saying.
No, but that's not an obligation.
No, but it is an obligation. Your child is your obligation.
No,
we're not comparing by the child. We're talking about
I'm talking about the word itself. Obligation means you are responsible for someone else. Your duty is for somebody else.
For the community. So you say I'm responsible.
Yes.
So I'm responsible for.
If you're asking me, if you reach a certain level of success and you're not responsible to help your community that you came from, that you're a product of, there's something wrong with that.
You're looking for somebody to come save you. I'm not looking for other people that made it out. I'm looking at it as an inspiration or some shit, but I'm not gonna wait for them to come and do some shit like I'm different. I'm not doing
what you just said changed the perspective from me doing it after I reached a level of success and someone waiting for me to come back for them. That's two different things.
But think about it.
But if you got people, it's kind of like the person is waiting for you.
Because you got.
It's not about the person though. It's not about the person waiting for you. You are obligated to help somebody else. That's why I said obligation looks different for everybody. Like I'm not gonna go back bring a camera crew with me and be like, yo, I'm gonna go back and save the hood.
But obligation is
so
obligation.
Dre, are you saying
it's not different meanings to obligation. There's only one definition.
That's my point. The word obligation also applies to your children. Obligation is obligation.
We're not comparing children.
It's not a comparison. You're trying to use the definition of the word. The word obligation, your kids fall under obligation.
Right, but as far as the community, it is not your duty to say, okay, I made it here. I'm going to go help out 1 million strangers or whatever. I think it would be a cool thing to do, but it's not your duty to do that.
And that's what I'm saying.
You guys are all in the same place. You got out. It's everybody else's. It's their duty to get themselves out.
Everyone's community could have treated them differently. You never know. Like some people could be in a community and they ain't do shit for them. Like, so depending on where they are. But yeah, I agree. I feel like you're not obligated, but morally it's a nice thing to do.
It would be a great thing to do. It's great.
You have children there in that community that are looking up to you. So it would be something nice to do.
I think it would be awesome.
Go ahead, Kasar.
Dre, you're saying more lines instead of obligation. You're saying more lines of paying it forward.
Yeah, but I believe, like me personally, I believe it's an obligation to do that, to pay that forward, because I personally don't know anybody who reached a certain level of success without any help at all. Right? So I don't know anybody who's got anywhere at a certain status in life and they had no help at all. Like they came and did everything on their own.
When you say help, like what do you mean?
It varies. It depends on where you're at. It depends on your field. Everything's a variable.
So you say
right? For an example, right? For an example.
Okay.
Right? Justin is a perfect example of this. I met you through Justin.
Right.
Right? So if And let's say I was trying to get into the graphic field, and you would have plugged that got me to somewhere else. I would have never met you if I didn't know Justin and Justin knew you, and he put us together and that connection went somewhere.
I hear you.
That's what I'm saying. There's I don't know anybody on this planet personally that has made it a level of success with zero help. And I'm saying their community at some point, it might not have been a positive factor that they played, but there is some type of environment that got them to where they're at right now.
So you're getting technical.
It's not technical. I'm talking about for me.
If I met Justin, then I met you.
But that's a plug. That's what I'm saying. That's a plug.
I mean, but it wasn't like he introduced you to me because of what I could do. We just met by fate.
And that's my point. That's why I'm not gonna section it off and say only if you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things for me, I'm gonna then go back and help my community, because you don't know. I mean, this is God we're talking about. There's a lot of variables that played factors in your life that got you to where you at. Somebody could have did something for you and you didn't even know that they did it.
But look at for prime example, look at Nipsey Hussle. He did a lot for the community. Look what it got him.
I mean, you're using the one.
No,
but
there's other people, because it's either you don't come back, you get criticized by your own people, or you come back and you get shared on by your own people.
No, I understand what you're saying, but coming back, helping your community doesn't mean that you came back. Nipsey he didn't want to leave home. That's where he wanted to stay. So he could have helped his community by not living and not running the store there, not being there. There's different ways to do that. And you don't know the story for him that got him to where he was at. Like, you don't know who he was with along that journey. You just know that the end part where he went back to the hood and the hood took him out.
Yeah, he touched enough lives to have done his way over his job.
He laid his mark.
Yeah.
He touched the world. He did. His community. He does the world.
Like you were saying, even if it's just one person, but he did way over. He did for a lot of men. He stepped up.
Became an icon. That's crazy.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that leave the hood and then they act like they was never there.
Oh yeah.
It should never existed.
But think about it. So that's just them though. You gonna feel away if they don't come back?
No, I'm not judging you on that. That's your choice. But the question was, do you feel? I feel it's an obligation. I
don't think it's an obligation. My opinion.
I don't either. But I mean, like I said, I think it would be I think it's something that should be done. But I mean, I don't think it has to be. But it would be great to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anybody with a heart that's doing it from the heart, I feel like would have no problem doing that. You know.
Right. Yeah, because I definitely, like, if I make it to a certain level, I definitely would want to come back and help kids or whatever it's that. But it's like, you can't get mad at me if I didn't. Like, motherfucker, you ain't teach me that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, but I definitely would want to, though. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.